Hey guys, it's Daniel again from the Truck Insurance Channel. Want to go over the timeline of everything. I know I did the video breaking down all the steps. Some people have still asked me a lot of questions about like what to do and when to do it, which is really important, especially if you're trying to like do this as efficiently and like cost effective as possible. You know, if you do things too early, you might end up spending a lot of money unnecessarily. So follow along with this real quick. Starting with, you just applied for your DOT number, all right, NMC, like you just applied for your authority. That means you've already gone and incorporated, gotten your tax ID, and maybe set up a bank account, new phone number, new email, all that, all right? All that's behind us. We're starting with, you just got your DOT number after applying, okay? Some people have asked me, like, do you have to have insurance prior to applying for the authority? No. You have to get insurance to get approved for your authority, to get activated. So you can apply for your authority, then get insurance. That's the normal way to do this, and you end up doing your insurance like right before you go active. That's the best way to do it. But so starting with, you just got your DOT number. End of this timeline is you're going to pick up a truck, all right? And we're talking about people renting a box truck to start their authority, and you know, haul for Amazon Relay or anybody else. You know, I recommend like use Amazon Relay as like a leg up, and you know, keep it in your arsenal of people to haul for. But it's not like, it doesn't have to be the only thing, all right? Just keep that in mind. So you just got your DOT number. Next thing, so like next day or the following business day, go ahead and apply for your BOC3. It's one of the easiest things you'll do. It's also one of the cheapest things you'll do. Don't ask what it's for, okay? You just have to have it. It's a thing, okay? It has a purpose, but you probably never really use it. It's just something you gotta have. So BOC3, link for that below. Next up, you don't have to do your UCR to get activated. You need to do it to be compliant before you hit the road. Okay, so but go ahead and get it done. It's like $62 or something. There's a link for that below as well. You don't have to pay anyone to do the UCR. You can do it yourself. It's very easy. I'll do another video walking through that. It's really easy. So UCR, then DOT medical exam. Get that scheduled so you can get your DOT medical card or whatever, and then start applying for insurance quotes, okay? You want to get the quotes ahead of time, so that way, you know, like you have an idea of what it's going to be, but you don't need to make the insurance effective right away, okay? Like if you just got your DOT number yesterday, you don't need insurance today. You don't need insurance until you're closer to that, like day 21. We'll talk more about that in a second. The other things you need to do to get ahead are, if you're going to do freight factoring, which like 90% of everyone does, go ahead and figure out freight factoring. I recommend RTS, link for that below, as well as they do fuel cards too. So you want to get that ball rolling because it takes a few days. Like they do like a credit check, and there's an application and like a wait period, all this stuff for that. So like get all that done. That way, like once you actually get a truck, you're not like, oh, I need to do my freight factoring now. No, because that could take a few days, and then it's just more time you got to wait to like get paid and everything. So get all that done. Also, call in your area and make sure, call around to the rental companies. And make sure that there's trucks available. There's some areas in the US right now where there's no rental trucks. Okay, there's no 26-foot box trucks. So I've got people that are driving like 200 plus miles to pick up a box truck. Make sure that there's trucks available. Don't set up an account with a rental company until you have a good rate. Okay, like if you're negotiating, talking with somebody, and they're like, oh yeah, you know, it's $750 a week, I'll go ahead and set up an account, and then once you get running, maybe we'll talk about getting that rate lowered. No, don't do that. Negotiate up front. Okay, get what you want up front, or you know, at least try to. There's some scenarios where you might not, but we'll talk about that in some other videos as well. I'll have some rental truck company videos here shortly as well, so stay tuned for those. But anyways, so make sure there's rental trucks available. Try and find the best rates you can. I'll help out with that as well. Dispatchers. I've told a lot of people, like, you know, get in like the Facebook trucking groups and look for dispatchers. There's tons of dispatchers on these Facebook groups, you know, advertising and whatnot. So interview a few, see if they're any good. If you think you'd like to work with them, go about doing dispatchers that way if you're going to go with a dispatcher. I got people that, you know, argue both ways, like, I don't need a dispatcher. Well, dispatcher looks at load boards all day long, and you can't look at load boards all day long if you're driving. All right, so if that's your scenario, okay, because like not everyone's scenario is the same, so you know, keep that in mind more than anything. You know, if that's your scenario, if you plan on being the owner and the driver, at least to start, you're not staring at load boards all day. You're taking little snapshots of load boards every time you look at it. So you have no idea how things trend throughout the day, especially with different lanes all over the country, like a dispatcher would and just like a broker will. Okay, knowing those trends is what makes a dispatcher really good. All right, well, one of the things. Next up, ELDs. So if you're renting with Ryder or Penske, you don't need ELDs necessarily because they have them built in, but what if theirs doesn't work? I would say you should probably still get your own ELD. All right, and I recommend Keep Trucking, link for that below. But like if the ELD breaks on the rental truck, right, or it's not working through the app or whatever, like you're still responsible for your trucking company being compliant. You can't be like, oh, rental ELD's not working, I'm not responsible anymore. Like, oh, too bad. No, DOT doesn't care about that. You know, maybe you should get your own ELD. If you're going with budget, they don't have ELDs in their trucks. You definitely need ELDs, okay? Do all of that like in the first week after you get your DOT number, okay? For insurance, I say like, if you applied for your DOT number and got it on the 1st of the month, right? Day 21, 3 weeks later, is about the time you can go active. FMCSA sometimes gets backed up and it takes a couple extra days after that, and it's also calendar days, not business days. I've gotten a lot of people ask me about that too. It's 21 calendar days. I like to put insurance effective like a couple days prior to that, maybe on like the 19th or 20th day, and then, you know, a day later, 2 days, sometimes 3, even 4, you'll go active. All right, so like if we make it effective on a Monday, by the end of the week you should have your authority active and approved by Amazon, okay? So we'll get to that in just a second with the Amazon stuff. So put your insurance effective a couple days before that 21st day. Technically, guys, you can do this all before 21 days. I just use 21 days as a general rule of thumb. If you call the FMCSA, those guys are scripted as can be, and they're gonna say, oh, 21 days, 21 days, 21 days. Like, they have to say that, that's their job. But if you really dig in, it's like technically 10 days. I've had people that do it at like 14 days, 15, 16 days after they apply. So that's on you, but I use 21 days. Plus, you've got a lot to do between, you know, the day you apply and that 21st day anyway. So just plan ahead. Planning ahead is the best way to do it. So you pay your insurance down payment right before that 21st day, like the 19th or 20th day or so. You could technically do your down payment earlier and make the policy effective later. That's totally doable. You know, we don't, like, when we go in there to do a down payment, we can make the policy future dated. If you just want to go ahead and get that taken care of, that's not a big deal. And then if anything changes, you can adjust your effective date. Not a big deal at all. It's just that, like, if the policy is effective future dated, that doesn't mean that your authority will go active any sooner. Like, your authority cannot go active any sooner than the effective date of your policy. All right, I've had a couple people ask me about that, like, oh, I'll just future date it and my authority. No, your authority will go active once you actually have liability insurance in place. So just keep that in mind. So like day 21, 22, 23, somewhere in that range, your authority actually goes active as long as you got that insurance and everything else done. Okay, and one other thing, guys, the 21 day thing is not a deadline. Okay, it's like a rule of vetting process. So everyone's going to tell you 21 days. Doesn't mean you have to have everything done on the 21st day. I've had so many people think like, oh my god, I have to get this done by the 21st day. No, when you apply, you really have like 90 days before you'd have to reapply or try and do like a reinstatement. So don't worry about that. You've got time. Like, you can go well past the 21st day. You do that, and then let's just best case scenario, you make your insurance effective on day 20, you go active on day 21. That's when everything's smooth and easy and awesome. On the 21st day, you go active about 7-8 a.m. Eastern time is when the FMCSA servers update on like their 4 outlets or whatever. So that happens, and then about lunchtime you can apply for Amazon Relay. I've heard wait 5 to 10 business days and all this stuff. Like, there's no reason to wait. Okay, if you get in there and it says you're not eligible yet, then, you know, first off, check Safer, safer.fmcsa. I'll have a link below for it. Like, you can check to see if you're active or not. It's really easy. And then if you're active, then you can apply. Like, and Amazon's not like, oh, we don't have room for any more carriers. Right? That's garbage. Why would they want less carriers fighting over loads? They want more carriers to fight over the loads. Like, that just doesn't make any sense. You can apply the day you get approved. I just say wait so that Amazon systems get updated with the FMCSA systems. There's a little bit of time in between there, but it's not like days later, it's hours. So do that, and then normally within 24 hours of applying for Amazon Relay, you'll get approved as long as you fill it out correctly. I have a video for it. Follow along exactly so you don't get delayed. So if you get delayed, it sucks. You have to email this like support email at Amazon Relay or whatever.com, and it could take 10 days before it resets if you don't get through to them. I've had people email like 2 and 3 times a day, like breakfast, lunch, and dinner, sending emails to the support email to try and get reset so they can reapply because they typed in something wrong. Don't, like, make sure you do it perfectly so you don't have to deal with that, because it could take 10 days after you applied for Amazon Relay the first time and messed up. So do it perfectly. All right. And so normally within 24 hours, you'll get an approval email from Amazon Relay. And again, your agent has to send an email to RMIS, Registry Monitoring Insurance Services. They monitor insurance for a ton of brokers, including Amazon Relay. Your agent will send out the COI, or like if you have me as an agent, then you can send out your own COI if you want, or I'll do it for you, however you prefer. And then you get approved by Amazon Relay, then you go pick up a truck. Hopefully you did a reservation, which is totally an option. You go get your truck, you get in it, you hit the road, all right, and make some money. I really hope these help you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to schedule a call with me. There's a link for that below, or email me. I tend to get back to emails at night. I try to respond to everybody within a day or two, but scheduling calls has been kind of the way to go. It's backing up, but I've got some more help on the way. I'll have more slots for calls here soon. Just, I help people with any questions they have, but I also have an insurance agency, and I got to help my clients. So I got to make sure I have plenty of time for everything. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like and subscribe if you haven't yet. Check out my other videos. I'll have a lot more up soon. Check out my affiliates down below. Those are the best that everyone has recommended to me, and I recommend everybody else. Thank you guys.